Pharmacist Ben?
Yes, sir.
I think I screwed up.
Are we having a problem?
Yeah, we're probably only live on YouTube right now.
What happened?
Because AJ is slacking. But no worries. That is why we are going to get it together. Ruth Ellen's going to take care of Facebook for me.
Yeah, okay.
See if she can put some info on there. But how are you today?
Hey, so Tom Chanel, he has a big following. You should be sending him a link.
I send Tom a link every time we do a show, and every time you're on Friday, I also send him.
He asked me for a link today. That's why I asked him.
Okay. But how are you?
Good. How are you, sir? Trying to my camera just so.
Are you ready for your flight, or?
I'm scared.
Think you're gonna be in the airport for 17 hours?
I don't know what's going on. Any problems at the airport?
Well, I think you have a really good airport, so you probably won't have as much issue as anybody else.
Yeah, not only that, but I have that clear and TSA and all that stuff. So I usually get through pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. So you're a VIP.
No, I'm not VIP. I got to pay for it. Somebody says, "Speak up." Am I really low? Is my mic? I've been hearing complaints about my mic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case?
It's not as loud as it normally would be. We kind of
I don't know why that is.
Mentioned that a little earlier.
Is it better if I go like this? Is that better?
Probably better for them. I hear you, but probably a little bit better if you do it in that fashion.
Okay.
But just give me another couple seconds here.
Yeah.
To make sure that I can get our friends on Rumble on, who are probably chomping at the bit right now saying, what has AJ done to us? How has AJ forsaken our folks on Rumble? And I promise it wasn't intentional. So, Pharmacist Ben,
yeah.
I had by the way, what did you do for Easter?
Eggs. It's scrambled eggs.
Scrambled
rabbit eggs. Scrambled rabbit eggs. Yeah. What do you don't believe in the Easter Bunny?
You don't
believe in the Easter Bunny?
Not quite as much as I did.
All right. If you don't believe in the Easter Bunny, tell me where Easter eggs come from.
Easter. From Cadbury, of course.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So so that should take care of Rumble. Ruth Ellen, do we take care of Facebook or let's see here. Ruth Ellen. Check to see
what you're gonna lose everybody. Come on, let's just jump into it.
All right. So hey, Chris O'Hare. What's up, pal? All right. So
what?
We have a ton of questions. I just want to start while people are getting acclimated to the show. I just want to start with a couple of articles that I read that prove that Pharmacist Ben was right again.
About
surprise, surprise. One of these articles says scientists discover hidden gut signals that could detect cancer early. A new study reveals that gut bacteria and metabolites may hold the key to detecting serious digestive diseases earlier and more easily using AI. Scientists found that biomarkers linked to one condition can often predict others.
You don't need AI. You just need to be on root, not fruit.
Yeah, it's amazing, though.
We got to change the name of the show, by the way, to Root, Not Fruit.
We should change the name. I was thinking that earlier today.
Yeah, let's just, you got to simplify everything. Simplification. Occam's razor. You know what Occam's razor is, I'm sure. You're a philosophy guy. The shortest distance, but the simplest solution or the simplest answer is usually the correct one. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Occam's razor is a philosophical idea. It says the simplest answer is always is usually the correct one. So the gut and the metabolic system, that's how things get into the blood, and that's how they get into the cells. That's it right there. You can throw in the adrenal glands if you want to go all out, and the relationship between the adrenal glands and the thyroid is important, but that is secondary to the first 2 points on the triangle of disease. Then from there, you're off to all the diseases. Hypothyroidism and hyperadrenalism are behind all diseases, but behind those, dysglycemia, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, pre-diabetes, whatever you want to call it, and then gut problems. And that's, by the way, true about vertigo too. I know you want to talk about vertigo, the same thing. It should come as no surprise.
We do want to talk about vertigo. The second article, it says, this 5-day diet helped Crohn's patients feel better fast. A simple 5-day monthly diet tweak may ease Crohn's disease symptoms and inflammation.
Well, are you surprised?
You know, not surprised because I know you, but it's interesting that, you know, that they're now correlating diet and disease. And it's just like, wow. Why not before?
The problem is when they do that, they don't really talk about why the diet is related to disease. And that's why I always take pains to talk about the blood. Because otherwise, you run the risk of people hearing this kind of food thing. And food has become a meme. Good food and eat good, and I don't want anybody to know what I'm eating, and I'm guilty because I ate French fries and this, that, and the other. We want to filter all that out and get right just to the hardcore cause and effect relationship between foods and I won't say disease, wellness or lack of, it doesn't have to be full-blown disease, just be not feeling good. So the link is because that's how things get into the blood. It's not because we're foodies. You know, I don't want anybody to think I'm a foodie. I'm not a foodie. But if you're sick, this represents a point of control because that's how things get into the blood, unless you're injecting. That's the only other way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know we talk about it all the time. I don't want to belabor the point, but vertigo should be considered the same thing. You know, people don't realize what vertigo, like what causes vertigo, because they don't realize what causes us not to have vertigo. In other words, in order to move around and navigate the world, you've got to see it as being stable. When we have vertigo, the room is spinning. It's like there's a disconnect between our balance system, which is between the parts of our balance system, which is made up of 3 major components. Number 1, your brain, especially the back of your brain, the brain stem, and the part of the brain called the cerebellum. Number 2, the inner ear. Not the ear, the inner ear. There's canals with fluid. Do you ever see how they measure you ever see how a level measures with a little piece of fluid, a little drop of fluid in the circle, and you can tell if something's level? You know what I'm talking about? I can't tell if you're, yeah. You know what I mean? And they use fluid to assess levelness. If you go up like this, the fluid changes. And that's the vestibular system. That's the canals in the inner ear. As you move, there's adjustments that are made. If adjustments are not made correctly, there's pressures that are put on the nerves. There's tiny little microscopic hairs that are connected to nerves, and that throws off the entire system. The question then becomes, what is causing the disturbance and how fluids move in the vestibular system? And the answer is always the same. Inflammation and degeneration. Now, it turns out there's a very interesting interesting mechanism. There are little pieces of calcium. There are little calcium crystals in the inner ear. They call them otoconia. I don't know if you've ever heard of these. These little calcium carbonate crystals, they're embedded in the inner ear, but when the fluid level's off or the pH level is off, these calcium crystals can break off and float into the canals and artificially or incorrectly stimulate the hair cells when you move your head. That's the most important cause of vertigo. That's called BPPV. Have you heard of that? Benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. So when you move your head or you change position, You roll in bed, you look up, and you get dizzy. Has that ever happened to you?
Not recently, but I mean
Okay.
in the past.
It happens when there's fluid accumulation, there's a change in the pH. It's very sensitive to pH. Calcium's always going to be sensitive to pH. If there are toxins in the blood from the digestive tract, same suspects. It's all the same stuff. You know, rule out stroke first of all, because there could be a stroke, and then identify patterns. Is it positional? Is it episodic? Did you just have some kind of viral infection? If it's positional, you're dealing with some kind of inflammatory condition in the fluids in the inner ear, pH changes perhaps. If it's episodic, you probably have Meniere's disease. Have you heard of Meniere's disease?
I have.
That's the second cause of this kind of a vertigo condition. And Meniere's disease is also a fluid condition. Even though it's a separate disease, it has to do with fluids building up in the inner ear and pressure then building up and distorting the signaling. And that's, by the way, one of the reasons people get tinnitus when they have Meniere's disease. Or sometimes people have a sense of fullness in their ears. All of this is inflammatory. All of it. It's an inflammatory condition, meaning it's a defensive response to something that's getting in the blood. Toxicity that's getting in the blood. It changes and it disturbs the pH and the fluid levels in the inner ear. I mean, these are mechanisms and they're interesting to know, but you don't need to know them if you have this condition. Work on your foods. Now, if you have the condition or you're helping somebody who has a condition, ask for other symptoms. It's very rare somebody will just have BPPV or just have Meniere's. So look for other symptoms to kind of put together a picture of what's happening inside the body. Do I have to tell my Bob Ross story again?
Well, if people want to get
Bob
a
Ross,
picture.
yes, Bob Ross was a painter, as most people know, and he used to show you how easy it was to paint. I used to love watching when I was a kid. Show you how easy it was to paint. He would just take his paint, big white canvas, and boom, put a little line in the middle of the canvas, and you go like, all right, that's just a line, right? And they put another line, you go, all right, there's two lines. But then he put a third line, and boom, you see a river. And then a fourth line, and trees. And then a fifth line, and a mountain. And sixth line, and all of a sudden, as he adds lines, picture starts to emerge. That's how you do health. When you have symptoms that are not directly related to the digestive system, because obviously if you have a digestive problem, that's a digestive symptom. So when you have symptoms that are not related to the first 2 points in the triangle of disease, actually the first point, you backtrack because everything is about the blood. Does that make sense, AJ? Everything's about the blood, right?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
How could it not be about the blood? How could you have an illness that's not about the blood? It's not possible. All illnesses involve the blood. Chronic illnesses involve the blood. So you backtrack, and it helps to do food diet. It helps to do a symptom analysis. You triangulate. You look for points, but you don't necessarily need to do it. I guarantee you, if somebody has BPPV, they know they have a food problem. Babies don't have BPPV. Benign positional. I forgot what it's called. Benign BPPV. Do you remember what it's called? Benign paroxysmal vertigo. I forgot what the second. I forgot what.
Well,
the
I mean,
second is.
vertigo is vertigo, right? I mean, you know, to give it its Latin root. I mean, really.
You're talking really. You're talking funny there. It speds you up. Positional vertigo. Benign paroxysmal. That means episodic. Paroxysmal. Positional vertigo. So vertigo, think blood, think toxins, think leaky gut, period. And tinnitus, the same thing. All right. I hope that helps, AJ. Let's get to some questions. You look like
That does help because actually we did, that was a question that Bruce had written in, and I believe Don also. Don, did that help your question on vertigo? We're going to unmute you. Don?
Yes. I can't hear it very clear. I'm thinking maybe I should go to the computer. I'm doing this on my cell phone. But I recently got vertigo and stopped in the middle of the street and got hauled away in an ambulance.
Distracted here. What are you doing,
Ben,
buddy?
do you hear Don?
Can you,
No.
I'm here.
I hear you, Don.
How do I answer you?
Ben,
You
hang
hear
on.
me?
Don, hold on 1 second. Ben, do you not hear Don?
Do not hear Don.
Okay, Don said that he was walking across the street and had vertigo, got up and found himself in an ambulance. Is that about right, Don? Is that summing up?
No, I was driving down the street and my vision got blurred and I pulled over, closed my eyes, and it started to clear up, and then I thought I could go further, so I drove on down, and I stopped in the middle of the street when I could no longer focus, and the next thing I know, I'm in an ambulance, and I go to the hospital where they check to see if I had a stroke, and they couldn't find anything.
Okay. So Don was driving down the street, got dizzy, pulled over, and then tried to keep going, and wound up with the doctors, and they said that they couldn't find that he had a stroke, but he's trying to kind of understand what's going on with him.
Okay, Don. First of all, how old are you, Don? Are you on any medication, Don? Do you have any medical diagnoses?
No, I'm.
Then I would ask you, what are your other symptoms? You don't just have, nobody just has vertigo. There's other things going on. So go ahead. Medications, how old, diagnoses.
Okay, 80 years old. This is my third shot with vertigo. The first two were at home.
AJ, I don't want to, we can't do it this way.
Don.
Let's move on. Let's get somebody else. We'll take Don later.
Don is 80 years old. I don't know why you can't hear him. But let's see. You have a bunch of people, and I think that you probably gave this link. You gave that link that I sent to you to Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, because all of Tom's people are trying to get in here as opposed to going to a channel.
Well, that's why I asked you for the link.
Oh, no. That's not. Okay. Don's 80. That's his third bout. He's not on any medications.
Don, my friend. You got MBFA. MBFA disease. Explain that, AJ. MBFA disease.
Don, he's saying your body's falling apart.
Okay.
You're degenerating. Yeah. Your body's breaking down, Don. When the body breaks down, the fluids start to leak out of everything. I want you to picture this. When you're healthy and young, all the fluids are maintained in compartments, whether those compartments are inside of cells or inside of various tubes and channels. You with me? I can't see, Don, so I'm looking at you, AJ. So you gotta kind of give me some feedback here, okay? So when we're young and healthy, all the fluids are held in compartments in an organized fashion. Those compartments could be the cells, they could be vessels, or they could be channels, okay? As we age and our body starts to break down, the fluids are no longer organized and structured and coherent and maintained in compartments. They start to leach out. When the fluids start to leach out, it completely changes the chemistry of the body. Now, I'm giving you the mechanism, but that doesn't help you solve the problem. How do we solve the problem? You go back to the triangle of disease. Do you see how I'm working here? I mean, it's not just for Don, it's for everybody who is dealing with a chronic degenerative condition that they can't isolate. So what you do is, first of all, you get the symptoms, and then you backtrack. I'm giving you the mechanism, but you don't need to know it. The mechanism is everything's breaking down and the fluids are starting to leak out. Now you're 80 and there's some miles on there. As they say, some miles on your tire.
He's doing pretty well. He's driving.
It's good. You're doing all right, but this is to be expected. So now you got to backtrack to the digestive system. And more than likely, in fact, I'll say it's next to impossible for you not to have some kind of digestive health issue. There's got to be something. So work there. There's also got to be some dysglycemia at the age of 80. That will also cause disturbances in how fluids are held in compartments and in vessels and in cells. So work on the blood sugar system. Then there's the stress, the adrenal gland, stress hormones. And again, that will do the same thing. Triangle. What does it say in the corner, AJ? Right here in the corner of your screen.
Root, not fruit?
Root, not fruit. You go to the triangle, the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and if you want to do one more thing, the adrenal thyroid complex. It's as simple as the body's just breaking down.
Don, does any of this make sense?
Yes. You know, I'm working with Sandy Ellsberg with your group.
All right, let's move on here, AJ.
Fantastic. Okay, so you reach out to Sandy, and you have Sandy reach out to me, and I will walk her through everything that he just said.
Yes.
Okay, now what's your name?
I'm Coach AJ.
Coach
and the
AJ.
same number that you reach me on, you can reach me again.
Healthy Start Pack.
I've got that, and I
Pack.
open 35 bottles a day of vitamins and minerals.
Okay, well that's too many, but let's have a conversation because Ben can't hear you, so it's not fair to Ben. So we're gonna move on, and you and I are gonna have a conversation with Sandy. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
All right, Pharmacist Ben. So these are all different folks who've come in
from Tom,
watching as a result of Tom.
Right.
I don't know if any of these folks have a question, but it's kind of good that they're here because I kind of blew the stream on Rumble.
We do this. Tell everybody we do this. We do this every Monday. We do this.
And there's Cheyenne. Cheyenne may be okay. Pharmacist Ben, could you comment on AHCC supplements?
Yes, they're very interesting supplements. I don't think Longevity has any AHCC supplements. So
we do use mushrooms.
What's that?
We have a number of supplements.
Mushroom tea, right?
We have mushroom tea. We've got all types of mushrooms in the microbiome. There's all types of mushrooms in the killer biotic. There's mushrooms in the 3.0.
Okay, so mushrooms are you know what the mycelia are? The little wires, little wires that go underground. They're called mycelia. They're very fine little wires, very like hair-like. Those when those get extracted from certain mushrooms, especially shiitake mushrooms, a sugar, a hexose, OSE at the end of a word means sugar, and AHCC stands for active hexose correlated compound. And this hexose, which is a type of sugar, is a very powerful immune modulator, very similar to beta-glucan. In fact, technically, these mushrooms are rich in alpha-glucans. Basically, the glucans enhance the activity of the immune system. Cytokines, natural killer cells, T cells. So they're used for things like cancer, viruses, HPV. Its claim to fame is its value for HPV, human papillomavirus. It can also be helpful for people who are dealing with immune suppression from stress, chronic stress, or frequent illnesses, and it can also be used for liver support. It's a very interesting supplement because it's relatively cheap and it's non-toxic. So it's not exactly it's not going to help you directly with any one particular health challenge, but it has an overall stabilizing effect on the immune system, like all polysaccharides, or not like all, but like a lot of polysaccharides. There's nothing fancy schmancy about it, though. It's it's really simple molecule. It's a basic polysaccharide, hexose, and it's similar to beta-glucan in terms of its effects.
Okay. Is it similar to?
It's similar to Fucoid. Fucoidin is a complex molecule. Hexose is just a simple sugar. Fucoidin has fucose in it instead of hexose. So they're similar. They're saccharides. The saccharides are really interesting because they're so effective for immune support and they're so unbelievably non-toxic, zero toxicity. For a molecule to have incredible health benefits and be non-toxic, in light of the fact that we live in this pharmaceutical society, pharmaceutically based society, where we deal with benefits but lots of toxicity, or not benefits but effects and lots of toxicity, makes these molecules, these non-toxic polysaccharides, just really stupendous and valuable.
Okay, while I'm going to pull up some questions, do you recommend Longevity 90 for Life supplements?
Who said that?
This is a question, and probably an honest question from YouTube.
Yes, I highly recommend longevity supplements, highly. And I've been recommending longevity supplements since 1998.
Since 1898? Wow.
Don't be a smart ass.
Okay, Pharmacist Ben, what can you do for a bad case of toenail fungus?
Nail fungus.
Don't tell me it's got something to do with my gut.
Of course it does. All fungal infections. First of all, fungal infections are very difficult to treat because fungal infections or funguses have spores and they're not receptive to medicine. So fungal medicine, antifungal medicine, is notoriously powerful. That's first of all. And fungal infections are notoriously difficult to treat. The best way to treat a fungal infection is to work on gut bacteria, because the bacteria and the fungus live in a symbiotic, balanced relationship. They balance each other out. The fungus kill the bacteria. I don't think symbiosis is the right word. The fungus kill the bacteria kill the fungus. When our bacteria are killed off from antibiotics, antibiotics in water, chlorine, fluoride, all the things we do to kill off antibiotics in our gut, fungus overgrow. Nail fungus should be regarded as a fungal condition that is secondary to dysbiosis. Root, not fruit. And anybody, they have these things, these lasers that kill fungus and all these creams that you kill fungus with. That's so silly because the mechanism is the body is trying to get rid of the fungus. The fungus that you see in your nails is the body eliminating it. It's a route of excretion for the fungus. So to kill the fungus once it's out of your body is not really helpful. You're not going to really be able to do anything because the fungus is coming out from the body. So you're not going to really kill the fungus. You might kill it in the nail, even if you do, but there's a stream of it coming out into the nail or into the nails.
It's a cosmetic. That's a cosmetic thing.
Yeah.
So we should tell this person. What about are mushrooms a fungus?
Yeah. It's not the same kind of. Of course, mushrooms are funguses, yeast are funguses, mold are funguses. The fungal kingdom the kingdoms are distinct types of life forms. You got the bacterial kingdom, you got the animal kingdom, you got the plant kingdom, you got the algae kingdom, they call it archaea, and then you get the fungal kingdom. These are kingdoms. They're very unique life forms. Fungus is not like bacteria. Fungus is not like animal cells. Fungal cells are not like plant cells. They're unique. They're their own kingdom. So the fungal kingdom is made up of molds and yeasts and mushrooms. Mushrooms are actually the fruit, the fruiting body, they call it. And fungus jobs is to transform things back into transform dead material into living material. So you'll find fungus wherever there's a lot of dying material, like in the forest. You ever walk around the forest in New Jersey and you see these rotting logs? There's fungus coming out of them. That fungus is eating the log, breaking down its molecules. They go back in the dirt, and so they become a plant. Sometimes there's this really cool movie about the fungal kingdom. I forgot what the heck it's called, what the name of it is. Fantastic Fungi. It's called Fantastic Fungi. You got to watch it. Fantastic Fungi shows you these time-lapse photography of what a fungus will do to a shoe, an old shoe in the woods. It'll eat the shoe, turn it back into compost in the soil, and then you'll see flowers or you'll see plant life coming out of the shoot, or what was the shoot. It's called Fantastic Fungi. Google it.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It's super cool. Super cool.
Ruth Ellen's reminding us that we do also have mushroom coffee, longevity. The products that you kind of think are good for us. And then
I like the Mighty Nine. I'm a fan of the Mighty Nine.
I know that you are. All
right, let's get another question, AJ.
Hang on, I'm right here. Let's see. Oh, slender till age 20. She ballooned to over 220. She said that I said the PCO. I'm guessing this is PCOS because it says PCOS. Okay. Was activated by bad foods such as McDonald's. PCOS is from my side of the family, and my aunt had it.
No, hang on. PCOS is a metabolic issue, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So let's disabuse. I know you're reading it. No, I know you're reading it. I get that, but I'm just telling you, get that out of your head. My mother had it, so I have it. That's a doctor. That's a doctor thing. Yeah, that's a doctor thing. It's not true. It doesn't work. That's not how it works. All right. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm telling her. I'm telling the lady.
Malia has very hairy skin on her beautiful face. Yeah. She's done expensive lasers, waxing. Nothing lasts for weeks. I told her I would contact you about getting her metabolism, etc. balanced. What do you suggest about this hair growth?
The hair growth is part of PCOS. PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Cysts in the ovaries make male hormone and make female hormone, both. So a PCOS patient is going to have disturbances in male hormone and disturbances in female hormone. Disturbances in male hormone will give you body hair, facial hair, hair loss, acne, a mustache. Not cool for a lady. Disturbances in female hormone will make you overweight, will throw off your menstrual cycles, will cause infertility. So now you got a patient who's got acne, hair loss, facial hair, body hair, infertile, horrible periods. It's a big freaking mess. But the most important thing to recognize is it's a sugar condition. It's a blood sugar condition. It has to do with the hormone insulin. And you can be skinny, by the way, and have this problem. There's skinny PCOS and there's overweight PCOS. So anytime you have this kind of syndrome, polycystic ovarian syndrome, a syndrome is a bunch of symptoms that come from a single cause. Polycystic ovarian syndrome comes from lots of cysts, which in turn come from excess testosterone and excess androgens and excess estrogens. So what do? Guess what you do? First of all, it's a blood sugar condition, so you work on your sugar, healthy blood sugar pack. Secondly, it's a digestive condition because the intestine, the gallbladder, bile, and the liver and the pancreas, which are digestive structures, also control blood sugar or are involved in blood sugar control. So you work on the digestive system. The first 2 points in the triangle of disease. Get on the healthy blood sugar pack, get on the I-26, get on the nightly essence, reduce your intake of fast-burning sugars, practice the ketogenic diet, reduce calories, drink lots of Beyond Tangy Tangerine with your meals and throughout the day to the tune of maybe half a gallon of water a day, half a gallon of liquid a day with Beyond Tangy Tangerine in it. And you will notice, if you do all this, that your symptoms will start to subside in 30 days or less. It may take a while because it's a pretty severe metabolic disturbance, so it may take a while before they totally subside, but they should begin to subside in 30 days or less if you do everything I just said.
Interesting. I didn't hear you mention Fucoidin, and I'm really kind of disappointed that I didn't hear you say that. Fucoidin is
another one. Yeah, because Fucoidin is good, but it's not primary. But it's definitely good. It's good for a lot of things. Fucoidin is like a panacea. You know what a panacea is? It's good for all kinds of things. Fucoidin, right, covers all kinds of things. Partially because it's so important for the blood. And because the blood's involved in everything, it's going to have benefits for any issues with dirty blood, which is pretty much all issues. However, Fucoidin also reduces blood fats, it reduces blood cholesterol, and it reduces blood sugar. It also helps the liver. It's also important for detox for the liver. And it's important for the skin and for wound healing and for bone. But it's not there's no Fucoidin deficiency. So I tend to focus on essential nutrients. What does the word essential mean? You have to have it. Without an essential nutrient, you'll be dealing with a deficiency disease. So I always focus on the essential nutrients first. As not to say Fucoidin's not tremendously beneficial, but healthy blood sugar pack is a must-have. And the nightly essence and the I-26, ultimate enzymes, and all the digestive support supplements. May also want to throw in Dr. Ariaza's wonderful liver cleanse.
Dawn, is there extension with number and you calling in? I did see, if folks are watching now, I did see a couple of calls come in. I can imagine it might be from some Rumble people who are not seeing the stream. I apologize. I will post this and send it out in email form tomorrow to everyone who was unable to see it on Rumble. I apologize. Dawn, if you're trying to reach me or Pharmacist Ben, all you have to do is ask whomever answers the phone, and they will help you out and get you to the appropriate party. And I appreciate that answer that you gave for and then Ken is mentioning that he appreciates he appreciates the question. Now, to our folks who are in who are by the way, Tom's crew are just geniuses here. We have Sarah talking about the kingdom, the phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. And then, I'm going to bring on our buddy Chris, who I think had a question. Chris, unmute yourself. Did you have a question for Pharmacist Ben?
What
up,
can you hear
Chris?
me? How you doing, Ben? Pharmacist. Sorry, the dog is biting
Ben,
me.
can you hear him?
No.
You can't hear him.
No.
I don't know why Ben can't hear anyone today. Let me see if I leave the screen if you can hear him. Hang on.
Can you hear me now? Ben? Pharmacist Ben?
No, he doesn't hear you.
Okay, can you
Ben, do you hear me?
relay? I hear you fine.
That's amazing. All right, Chris, what's your question?
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about fulvic acid? I was just recommended that by my doctor. I have no idea what it is.
Well, that's a good doctor. Okay, his doctor recommended he take fulvic acid.
Wow. Plant-derived minerals. Who is this? Is this the gentleman?
This is Chris O'Hare. He's one of our
Chris.
buddies.
Chris,
How you doing?
Is it Chris O'Hare or Chris O'Harry?
O'Hare, like the airport in Chicago.
Chris is definitely a hairy fellow, too.
I call Chris O'Harry. I can't hear Chris. I'm
Chris,
just kidding you, Chris.
That's plant-derived minerals. Fulvic acid.
Yep, plant-derived minerals. You'll get that in your plant.
Why did the doctor suggest you use it?
Okay, I was described the other day as an autoimmune disaster on legs.
He's an autoimmune disaster on legs.
Oh,
and he recommended
digestive.
That.
I mean, fulvic is good. It's good for a lot of things, but you want to work on the gut. Why don't you call us? We'll help you. Work on the gut. You guys, autoimmune diseases are digestive issues. You want to regard them as digestive issues first and foremost. Dirty blood. When the blood becomes dirty, it starts to dump off toxins into the various tissues. That's what initiates an autoimmune disease. It starts with a leaky gut.
Chris,
always. One last thing. Victor Dadaj texted Pharmacist Ben today. I was wondering if he got it.
I can't really hear him.
Victor texted you today.
Oh, you're the guy Victor texted me about. Okay, yes, I did get a text. He said you were going to call me, I think.
I wasn't going to call until you said it was okay.
Okay. So he said he wasn't going to call until he says it okay. Chris has got my cell number.
Yeah, we'll help you, Chris.
You can reach out. We'll help you out, Chris.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris.
All right. And then any other question? Okay, Dawn, I apologize for you being on hold. That is not our intention. It's just today AJ screwed up the stream, so things aren't going as smoothly as possible. Wyoming Annie is chiming in. So I guess she's giving us a topical solution for this toenail fungus. Maybe, I'm sure she heard what you said, but she's mentioning her personal experience with toenail fungus. Do you see that on the screen here?
There's no, you can say tea tree oil, neem oil, all that stuff, Wyoming Annie. I don't want to contradict anybody, but I don't do superstition. And I don't do anecdotal, like, oh, my Aunt Tilly did this and that happened. I don't do that. I do mechanisms. I'm a scientist, so I go by mechanisms. I need to hear a mechanism. So Wyoming Annie, that's all cute and well that tea tree oil got rid of the fungus. What's the mechanism? How did it work? How did the tea tree oil affect the fungus?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Pharmacist Ben.
Yes, sir.
We absorb things through our feet.
Yes,
right?
The bottom of your feet. Yes.
In the bottom of your feet. Do
Yes.
you think do you think that something that's antiseptic could have gone in through the bottom of the feet?
They did what? That killed fungus? No, I'm asking.
Well, I don't want to get shot down because I like you.
No, I'm not going to shoot down. I'm asking. I don't understand. I'm not asking you to shoot you down. I'm asking so I can understand.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. Just could the tea tree oil interaction?
Okay. So think about the nail.
Mm-hmm.
The nail is hard, especially fungal nails. Mm-hmm. Fungal nails are very thick and very hard. Mm-hmm. So how would you get into the nail? How would you get into the fungus through the nail? How would tea tree oil? And if it did kill the fungus, what about the fungus that's coming out tomorrow?
Right.
The fungus. How does the fungus get in the nail? Let's ask this.
Because it's
coming out from the body. It's not like you have a fungal infection in your socks and it goes into the nail. It's coming out from the body. It's getting excreted through the nail. Mm-hmm. So obviously you can't kill the fungus in the body by killing it in the nail. It's going to keep coming out. So I don't want to dispute anybody's personal experience. That's not really a very smart thing for me to do. If somebody has an experience, they have an experience. But you can't apply your personal experience universally unless there's a mechanism. So yes, I hear all kinds of silliness about tea tree oil and neem oil and oregano oil and peppermint oil and essential oils. And I love essential oils, by the way. But I have friends who are essential oils. They use essential oils on everything. And that's great. But there's no real mechanism for the essential oil to kill the fungus in the body. You know what I'm saying? How is that going to work? Why don't you drink the tea tree oil and then it'll kill the fungus in the body if that's the way it works? Or take tea tree oil, tea tree oil, put drops in water and you can drink it. Or oregano oil or neem oil. Essential oils are antifungal and antibacterial, but that doesn't mean they're going to get in the nail and kill the fungus, especially if the fungus is streaming out from the body.
Ruth Ellen, are you saying something?
Yes. Can you hear me, Ben?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. We cannot recommend anybody drink any of those oils. Just so y'all know, do not drink anything Pharmacist Ben just said. It's toxic. It can harm your internal organs, so please don't do it. He just doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that we're on YouTube.
No, we could get in a lot of trouble for saying that. People do stuff like that, and they'll literally drink.
No, you don't drink. Yeah, you're right.
You don't drink the whole thing.
We're on YouTube.
And they'll just go,
Yeah,
and they'll get sick, and end up in the hospital.
You don't drink. That's not how you drink. That's not how you drink essential oils.
No, we put it on a little.
No, you put it in water.
Okay, we're not putting it in water.
No,
we're not.
You can't do it with certain oils.
Even though you're a professional and you are correct, YouTube
we can't say that.
Will ban us.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
They will throw us right off and not let us post again.
All right. Well,
there are certain ways to do that.
I know I got kicked off of YouTube. I can't help YouTube, but I can tell you that one of the ways essential oil. Just look it up. I'm not making it up. Look it up. Just go on the internet. 2-3 drops of neem oil or oregano oil or peppermint oil with your digestive system.
What's the best way to detox from environmental toxins?
Fasting is the best way. Plant-derived minerals are also very detoxing. Chelating agents, N-acetylcysteine, vitamin C, Fucoidin. These are chelating agents. Fiber, probiotics, they'll all have beneficial effects for detox, but focus on the liver. Fasting, don't put the toxins in your body. Clean the blood with various nutrients, and plant-derived minerals count, and then work on the liver. And when you work on the liver, that also means going ketogenic or reducing your intake of fast-burning sugars. And also prescription drugs. Avoiding prescription drugs.
Pharmacist Ben, irregularly, I'm going to let you cut out early.
Okay.
Because I don't have a ton of questions, unless you'd like to debate with Wyoming Annie, because she's.
I don't really.
We love Annie. We love Wyoming Annie.
I don't ever want to debate anybody's personal experience, because it's a personal experience.
Yeah.
But adding, does YouTube really have a problem with essential oils like peppermint oil for digestion?
You can't say colloidal silver. You can't say essential oils internally. These things, topically, they don't have so much of an issue.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Okay, so then I take that back. But
you can't say anything about that virus that was floating around a few years ago.
I don't ever say that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But if you do like a few drops of essential oil in water, I mean, that's adding a drop or two of essential oil. It can even make it, the flavor, improve the flavor of water. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to say anything if that goes against YouTube's rules.
Bruce, I think that the doctors that are going to be on the seminar with Pharmacist Ben on Thursday are mostly from different disciplines. I think one is some sort of brain or some sort of mental health professional. So, but we will be, by the way, Pharmacist Ben, we will be streaming your presentation.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
We're gonna stream it. And then, what causes POTS?
POTS is an adrenal issue.
PAMS?
Okay. POTS, postural. You change your posture. Orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So that's when you move, you get out of a seated position, get out of a standing position, or get out of bed, and you get dizzy and your heart races. That's a sign that your adrenal glands are not doing their business. That's a sign of adrenal fatigue or adrenal stress. And the strategy for doing it is to calm the adrenals. I think you're trying to tell me something. Calm the adrenal glands, calm the stress response, relax the body. A quick down and dirty way to avoid tachycardia when you stand up. If you have POTS, tachycardia means your heart races. Is to slow, deep breathe before you stand up. And that will also help the dizziness. So it's a little like vertigo in the sense that you change positions and you get dizzy. But vertigo is one of the things that happens when you have POTS. But mostly, you want to regard that as an adrenal issue, a stress issue. Sometimes people have it if they drink too much coffee. Or if you go work out after you drink a bunch of coffee and do a bunch of caffeine. I don't know if you ever noticed this, where you go to do squats, you bend down, and you feel dizzy when you stand up. Does that ever happen to you when you're working out? That's a sign of adrenal stress.
What's working out?
Okay, well, when you did work out back in the day.
Interesting, because I did want to hear your correlation between that and vertigo. So ultimately, if it's an adrenal issue, it ultimately starts in the gut, right? I mean, that's part of the triangle.
It's the triangle disease. Yeah, it's the triangle disease. Now, there's other stressors, psychological stressors, for example, can be involved. But yes, you always want to backtrack to the gut. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sarah's asking, what about uterine fibroids? How do we deal with uterine fibroids?
I thought we were going to wind this thing down because uterine fibroids is a big subject. Fibroids should always be regarded as a sign of disturbed estrogen and disturbed insulin. Any kind of growth. Uterine fibroids are obviously going to be estrogen dependent. We have a situation in our world today where there's a lot of things that act like female hormones. They call them xeno, X-E-N-O, xenoestrogens, foreign estrogens. And this is creating a big problem of estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance is linked to serious gut problems, digestive problems, and blood sugar problems. First 2 points in the triangle of disease. So anybody with uterine fibroids probably knows that they have some kind of gut or intestinal disturbance. The intestine, the liver, and the gallbladder are three very important structures for organs for eliminating estrogen. Under conditions of dysbiosis, disturbed gut bacteria, estrogen will not get cleared properly. Under conditions of gallbladder issues, gallbladder problems, estrogen will not get cleared properly. Under conditions of liver issues, liver disease, metabolic syndrome, estrogen will not get cleared properly. If you have exposure to plastics, cosmetics, medications, other sources of estrogen, that's going to compound the estrogen dominance issue. And if you have deficiencies in progesterone, which are very common, particularly as women get older, that's going to compound estrogen dominance. And when we have estrogen dominance, that can throw off intestinal health. Estrogen is very inflammatory for the intestine. Now you got leaky gut. So all of it, I'm giving you all the mechanisms. Don't be confused by all the different ways, all the different biochemical mechanisms. Focus on the gut, digestive health. As far as supplements go, fats, particularly ultimate EFAs, in addition to vitamin A, and in addition to plant-derived minerals. Zinc and selenium, which are fatty minerals, they're processed by fats, are also very helpful for all estrogen issues, particularly selenium. Selenium is really very nice as an anti-estrogen, as an estrogen blocker.
Wow.
And that's
what does selenium not do?
Selenium's pretty amazing. Also, the amino acid glutamine as a component of glutathione can help. So basically, I can give you all the mechanisms, but really focus on the gut and the blood sugar system. That's for PCOS, the other gal that had PCOS that asked a question, and also for uterine fibroids. And uterine fibroids are part of the syndrome, of the PCOS syndrome.
What I wanted to mention is that, and I want to show it, the Longevity Hope System it's interesting.
I forgot about the Hope System. Yeah, that's really good.
Well,
that one will support blood sugar.
Well, the Hope is different than the blood sugar one. There's one for blood sugar, but this is the quote unquote menopausal type one.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's Dr. Stan's wife, Dr. Dennison's.
No. This is, but what's interesting about this one is the core of it is this probiotic complete. So when you talked about dysbiosis, this probiotic that they have come up with for this bundle, and here I don't know if you can see. This is the Life Balance. This is the probiotic, and you see it says 35 billion FCU in there. Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Can you see on the screen, by the way?
No. I don't see anything on the screen.
You don't see it?
No.
You don't see it? You don't see on the side?
No, I see nuts, fruit, not fruit.
Oh wow. We gotta get your screen going. Okay, so then and then when I compare it to the Nightly Essence, the Nightly Essence has So the nightly essence has billions and billions, and it's got the protease and papain, bromelain.
I usually go with nightly essence. I don't know what the Hope has in it. I like the nightly essence.
And it's got the FOS.
FOS. Yeah, that's like a prebiotic.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, the nightly essence would be helpful.
I go nightly essence. That's what I do.
Okay. So the nightly essence is something, Sarah, that you, and Sarah knows this already because Sarah knows. I think she is a Chenaulter.
Hi, Sarah.
Senolytic cells. She says, thanks, Feistine. Yeah, the senolytic cells. Come on.
Fasting. We'll say again.
This Feistin. Fisetin.
S as in Sam?
Yes. Frank, Indigo, Sam, Echo, Trauma, Indigo, Nancy.
She's asking about senolytic supplements?
Yeah, the senolytic cells.
Senolytic cells are senolytic drugs typically that induce the death, that cause senescent cells. They call them zombie cells. So they're cells that they stop dividing, but they don't die. Those are called zombie cells. And senolytics specifically remove zombie cells so they can kind of prevent age-related diseases, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, neurological issues. But senolytic cells are not the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. That's what we're focusing on here, is the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. I think she's talking about senolytic cells are cells that are like zombie cells. I think that's what
she said. What she said is there's a substance in the HOPE system called Fisetin that helps to remove the senolytic cells.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know enough about it. How do you spell Feistin? F-I-S-T-E-N?
F-I-S-E-T-I-N.
That's a polyphenol. That's like a flavonoid of Fisetin.
Yep. She said it's found in apples and strawberries, etc.
Yeah, it's a fruit. It's not a Mighty 90 essential nutrient, put it that way.
Right. Pharmacist Ben, I'm going to let you go, but I have two questions. I was reading an article, and it said that the ratio of DHA
to EPA,
5-to-1 to EPA, is extraordinarily helpful for the brain. What say you?
There's no way to know. DHA and EPA are very, very interesting fatty acid derivatives. They're found in fish and algae, DHA and EPA. They come from omega-3 fats. Sometimes people will confuse them. They'll say DHA and EPA are EFAs. They're not. They're derived from alpha-linolenic acid, which is omega-3. They're very helpful for the brain. I personally don't know of a specific ratio of DHA to EPA. They're both important. You probably do need more DHA, but I don't know about 5-to-1 or 4-to-1. I can't answer that. Where did that person get that information from?
They're advertising a product.
Okay. I don't know the exact. I don't know that anybody really knows what the exact ratio is because they come from food, and we evolved with them, and I'm not exactly sure how anybody would ever know what the appropriate ratio was. And by the way, sometimes you'll hear people say that about omega-6 to omega-3. Sometimes people say 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4. Nobody knows. There's no way to know. Fats are very, very tricky. In my opinion, just get your ultimate EFAs and I take 10 or 12 of them a day.
Wow.
Or do Udo's blend. But the ultimate EFAs are great. I love them. I take them every single day, 10 to 12. They're in my auto ship. Along with my Beyond Tangy Tangerine, I get like 12 bottles of EFAs every month, and 4 or 5 jugs of BTT every month. That's how I qualify.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get.
What do you do with all this stuff? Do you give it to friends?
Sometimes the BTT I give away, but the EFAs I use.
And then the last thing, I don't know if we talked about it, but I did want to bring it up again because I went to a Asian restaurant the other day, and they gave me some sprouts, and I was like, I got some sprouts. All right. Do you think that I could live on sprouts and sprouts alone, or?
Yeah, you could probably live on sprouts. They have everything. They don't have a lot of calories, and that might be an issue. You don't get a lot of calories there. But as far as nutrients go, you get everything.
I think I got some calories to burn.
Yeah, if you have to burn calories, sprouts are great. In fact, sprouts are so great, you got to eat them fresh. They're notorious for getting slimy and moldy, and bacterial contamination because they're so nutritious. All right, AJ, I'm going to motivate. Thank you. Do you have any? Is there somebody else?
No, it was just a follow up on the uterine fibroid.
Yes. Treat yourself like a diabetic. Work on gut health. Focus on fats, particularly the ultimate EFAs.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that I let you go early tonight, so really. I won't have to bore you with my Donna Summer rendition.
Oh no, Barry White. I thought we were gonna get Barry White.
Oh, Barry White. Right. I'll save it for our trip.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Pharmacist Ben. Thanks everybody for joining us. See you later.